Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show me some. Show me some. Show me some.
Good day, madam.
Show me some.
Good day, sir.
How are you, buddy?
I am Radtastical. R-A-D capital.
Oh,
and
you're bringing that back. You're bringing back the Radtastical. I thought we let it die.
No.
But, we'll see in the comments section this time if people bring it back to life. Would you like Radtastical to be brought back to life? In the comment section, say yes or just say no, let's leave it dead. So remember, go over to YouTube. All of you are listening on like Apple and Spotify. We want more of you over at YouTube, please.
Yeah, we can't go to like 35 different podcast places and like comment on everything. Maybe we could, but
no, we can't. Like you can't comment. Trust me, I've been all over.
You could on Spotify. You can now do comments over there, I think. So
all right. Well then,
YouTube's our favorite to.
All right. Yeah, it is. It's just easier.
Yeah.
We're user friendly. But today, Brenda, we got a very special guest, don't we?
Yes.
This is like, you know what's so funny is I don't even know how long he's been with our company, but he's like quickly becoming like one of my most favorite human beings, not only in this company, but just in general. I had the opportunity to hang with him in Orlando, and I'm like, this is just he's like my guy. I even texted Brandon that I'm like, this is our dude. And Brandon Ellison was like, I know, man, I know, no doubt about it. But I don't even know like kind of how to give you the proper introduction, but I know like you are kind of like manhandling ninja, you're manhandling switchboard. I know that you've been in the insurance industry for like 24 years, 25 years, something like that. You come with, I mean, Brian Pope was like the guy that said, listen, we need to get him into Symmetry. And if anybody knows the name Brian Pope and he's grabbing someone, dragging them into this company, you know that it's somebody of importance because of where Brian stands in this industry, and he kind of captured you. But I don't know. I heard the number. I don't know if this is accurate, but you can probably correct me if I'm wrong. But you burned through like not burned through, but you worked over 250,000 leads to kind of figure out the client engagement behavior. And on this particular topic that we're going to talk about today, Miranda was like, oh my God, Shawn Lyons would be a perfect fit. And dude, I mean, you said, yes, let's do it. You're all about helping. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Shawn Lyons, or should I say the Shawn Lyons? How would you do it?
No, just Shawn Lyons. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so blessed to serve and be in the realm of stallions, of beasts like Miranda and yourself. Thank you so much for having me. Yes, sir.
Man, thank you for coming. Miranda, what are we going to talk about today? I mean, I know, you know, Shawn knows, but does our podcast world know?
They do not know yet, because what's funny is when I got over here, my background wasn't sales, right? It was phone room marketing. So when I started selling, I was like, sweet, I wrote this app, I'm good to go. I wrote an app, I'm done, right? Little did I know there was something called an issue rate. And little did I know that I actually had to like have them get approved, and I had to have the money get pulled out of their bank accounts before anyone was covered and I made any money. So I learned that the hard way. So we're gonna talk about that, right? It's not just writing an app, right? They say APV for show, issue rate for dough.
It's a golf term that I came up with.
I don't know about that, but we'll give you that.
I did. I swear to God, I don't care what anyone else said.
No, I don't know.
I promise.
Somebody look that up.
I don't care. I don't care who looks it up. I'm the one that brought that to life.
Copyright that. Okay, so here's one tip about that I know that I messed up in the beginning, and a lot of people got mad. Okay, did you know that when you write the policy at the end, some carriers, depending on the box you click, are going to pull the money out immediately? Other ones, they'll pull it out when they get approved. And did you know the customer does not like it when money gets pulled out of their bank account when they're not expecting it?
I mean, why wouldn't they?
Been there.
And here's another thing that I figured out. Okay, so let's pretend. Okay, no, I'm not sure exactly when one's gonna air. So let's pretend like we're a week before the month is finishing, okay? We're meeting with the client, right? We write an application, and let's say that it doesn't issue until like the 2nd of next month. Even though we wrote it on the last week of the month that we're in, when is that going to count for our commissions, our issue rate? Our net place is going to be next month, right? So
Yeah.
all of this kind of stuff really started to like play in when I was meeting with clients going, oh my gosh, okay, we got to pay attention to this stuff. Number one, because we don't want to piss people off. Number two, it really sucks to miss a promotion by an application that you wrote that you thought was going to count this much and doesn't. Right. So that would be my first tip, John, is okay, we got to pay attention to those draft dates. Plus, if they die, right? Let's say the policy doesn't get paid till next month and they die now, is the client covered?
Yeah, right.
So that would just be my starting point.
Yeah, and I think that there's a level of confidence with that too, Bud, and kind of how you approach that, right? And so if I'm sitting there with the client, all right, so hey, really quick, what they're gonna do is they're gonna go ahead and draft it initially, so just make sure to have that $176 just kind of set to the side. But when do you want the reoccurring monthly? Right? When do you want the reoccurring monthly? And just like if you say it with posture and you say it in that position, like it's just as expected. This is how things work. This is how we do things. But if you sit there and be like, okay, Miranda, when do you want that first monthly withdrawal? When would you like that? That's what you're going to notice, is that people are pushing the shit out 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, what have you, is because of the agent being insecure on how to handle that. So change your position, change your posture, and say, okay, they're going to go ahead and draft the initial right away. So have the $176 set aside. When would you like it reoccurring monthly?
And because if they pull that money out now, right, even if they get approved next week, but they die tomorrow, it will pay out. I don't want to ever be that person who was too afraid to tell them to pull the money right away and have them die, and then the family not get the life insurance, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah,
really
imagine having to have that phone call. Here's another one, Bud, is that here's what I'll tell you. Okay. And kind of embarrassing, but we didn't know what we didn't know when we first started. I remember came in here in my very first month. I was doing a part-time. I made like $16,000. My second month, I made like 18,000. My third month, I made like 18,000. I'm going full-time. I literally sold like $48,000 in annual premium volume, and I had like $2,200 issued into my bank account because of all the cancellations. That's where APD for show and issue rate for dough came into play. God, it sucked. And I'm like, oh my God, what did I do? Why did I decide to go do this full time? Oh my God, I'm panicking. Like, I can't write enough to cover all these cancellations, but I learned so much, right? And that's the idea of these podcasts, is that you guys get to learn from our mistakes. And one of the things that I did that made a drastic difference is this, and I'll kind of role play with you, Shawn, really quick, just kind of with this idea. All right, so we're at the end of the presentation. We're buttoning everything up, and I'll say, all right, Shawn, hey, do me a favor really quick. Go ahead and just grab a blank piece of paper and a pen. There's a couple of things that I want you to write down that are extremely important, okay? And this piece of paper, as soon as you get your life insurance policy in the mail, this is going to be the very first thing that your beneficiary sees, that if God forbid something happens to you, okay? So this is going to be like our own kind of like internal will that we're going to write down. So first and foremost, I want that beneficiary to be able to call me so I can walk them through on exactly what it is that they need to do. So you're going to write down my name, the guy that got me this coverage, his name is John. Last name is Ziller, Z-I-L-L-E-R. I want you to write down my telephone number, area code 815-703-5013. All right, I'm going to have you write down 3 reasons as to what you intended on this coverage to do for your beneficiary. All right, first thing, and I'm going to kind of help you with it. Shawn, you said that if God forbid something were to happen to you, is that your family was going to have to kind of leave the funeral, prep the home within 90 days and get it sold. They're no longer going to have to do that. So let's make sure that we kind of put in notation that, hey, my family is not going to have to leave the funeral because this particular policy is going to go ahead and take care of the full mortgage amount. All right, there's number 1. What was some of the other reasons that we had kind of talked about, Shawn? You had also, go ahead.
To make sure that my wife was protected and had time to take care of our bills and our finances and all of that.
Okay, so we definitely have kind of a year's worth of income replacement to make sure that the bills are taken care of. Let's go ahead and write that down as well. So she just understands that, hey, a certain amount of this should be allocated for your bills. A certain amount should be allocated for, and then we also talked about, emergency use and whatever, right? And so, all right, there are 3 reasons, and I want you to kind of bullet these and put down at the bottom, here are the reasons why I decided to protect you. All right, so
And
go ahead and
the
put that
date
down at the
the
bottom.
money's gonna be taken out of my bank account every month.
Exactly. All right, now, Shawn, I want you to make me a promise. Here's the promise that I want from you. As soon as you get that policy, I want you to put that in the very first page. I want you to take a picture of it and send it to me to make sure that I know I did my job. Is that fair?
Fair enough. Thank you.
All right, cool, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. All right, so we'll kind of pause that role play really quick. That seems so stupid, right? But they're going to go and look for that piece of paper if they want to cancel. And what are they going to do? They're going to be reminded as to exactly why they got this particular coverage put in place. And they're going to be like, ah, damn it, maybe I shouldn't call.
Oh, it's so good, John. Nuggets.
So it's, again, it's a little nugget, but I promise you it goes such a long way, because that's what they'll do. When that bill comes out, that Miranda, right? That randomly kind of comes out in a week, they'll be like, where's that piece of paper? Where's that dude's name? Because we told him, make sure you write down her name, the guy that got you the coverage. And then they're going to look at the reasons as to why they did this. And they're going to call you and be like, all right, listen, we got to figure out a solution, instead of them getting so upset and wanting to cancel with you, because they're going to be quickly reminded as to why they did this. I think that's a really, really, really big one that can help out a lot of people. And I promise you, implement that today.
And I think it changes the conversation too, doesn't it, John? Now we're talking about lowering death benefit to bring that premium down. Now we're talking about other ways to keep our family protected, as opposed to just canceling the policy, right?
Spot on. And then, so Shawn, this is the reason that Miranda wanted to kind of rope you in, right? Because she believes in kind of like I don't know how I would say it, Miranda, but like kind of like the power of more, right? Really kind of hanging on and making sure that we're kind of making sure that we can help them to every degree. So Miranda, I'm going to kind of let you set up Shawn in this light, if that's okay.
Yeah. So what would I know that there's something that you say that I love, that people belong in one of 3 boxes, right? Either it's a client, a reset, or an agent, right? Like, where would you go here? What would you kind of say? What would be your tip at the end here to really maximize this relationship?
For me or John? For me?
For you.
Yeah.
For me, I think that, when we sit there and we look at all of the opportunities that we have, with that individual that filled out that solicitation to have a conversation with us about protecting their family, that conversation at times will dictate our process, where we're going, our path, and all of that. I think that, that there are several agents that are doing very, very well in this business that came to me via leads. So you're 100% right, Miranda. And I think that when we look at, I think that it's a case-by-case basis. And when we look at the conversations that we have in the past that we're going to put in front of these people that we have these relationships with, that we have these conversations with, it's normally dictated by that conversation, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. And so like, let's go down the path of like how you would kind of like set somebody up for additional business. Kind of like, what would you go, subject matter expert, I guess, Mer, right?
Mm-hmm.
That kind of like the direction that we were thinking. Shawn, like, do you feel comfortable kind of heading down that path?
Absolutely.
Like how you would set somebody up, what that conversation would kind of look like to really kind of just button up the end of this presentation?
Well, I think it starts with the FIF, doesn't it? In finding out exactly, what that person's goals are, not right now, but in the future. Finding out, exactly, what ancillary monies that individual has, because we've got to understand there's this very specific profile that purchases life insurance. Somebody that, one, loves their family, obviously, somebody that takes their responsibilities very, very seriously. And when you look at our average term consumer, that average term consumer, a good percentage of the time, is a perfect candidate for future advanced market sales, right? And I think that it's just, again, going through that FIF, finding out, setting them up a year from now, 2 years from now, to have that very real conversation about an advanced markets product and looking at their retirement as opposed to that immediate need, that immediate problem that we solved with that mortgage protection or general life saving. Yep. Does that
All
make
right.
sense?
It
I'm
does.
sorry, I always say, does that
Absolutely.
make sense? My fault.
No, yeah, no, I know you get the buy-in along the way. Make sure you're paying attention.
Yes, sir.
I love it. We do that with our clients too, right?
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I like it. So let's walk down that path really quick. We're at the end of the presentation. I am your client. How are you setting me up for the FIF reset?
Well, I do it with just, again, doing the FIF reset. I just pivot into it and go and just talk to them about a few questions that I have, not only about your future, but about the future of your family and the goals that you may have in the future. As a licensed life insurance advisor, my responsibility is not only to look at what we're solving right now, but to also look at problems we may face in the future. This is a marathon and a sprint with you and I, Mr. Client. And I don't want to be somebody that just sells you something and then runs away. I want to be someone that will be continually a point of reference for you in anything that you might encounter as it entails to retirement, as it entails to maybe, making sure that the money that we have in our bank account is getting a higher interest rate than it currently is. And for us to really start that process, I just have a few questions.
That's good.
Fine.
Good. And then have you seen the FIF reset page, Mur?
I have.
Okay, yeah, I'm sure you have, but Mur, have you seen it?
Yeah, I have.
I know clearly you have. Did you just hear that setup? That setup was
Okay,
brilliant.
Lindsay's
I loved
been
it.
on like the top number 1 or 2 for resetters every week from my team. Lindsay Reinhold, shout out, girl.
Let's
And yeah,
go.
of course, yes, we're in there like swimwear.
Like swimwear.
And I think that we would all agree that you're doing it wrong if you're not resetting, right? Would we all agree to that? That, it's, hey, raise your hand if you like free money. I think I think that, not only are we pushing that really, really hard throughout, with everybody, everyone should understand, that the expectation isn't that you're going to be a master of IUL right now. The expectation isn't that you're going to be a master of annuity products. Let us and our agencies and the people that are in Miranda Martin's organization and John Ziller's organization handle that for you.
Yeah,
right?
everyone reset them. Like it doesn't cost you anything. And if there's anything there, like it's free. It's a free look, right? It's a free analysis. It doesn't, and honest, like I never got good at that stuff. But here's what happens. Statistically, it's like what, 1 out of 10 like apps you write is an annuity.
Yeah.
It is.
Right
So
on.
if you're not resetting and getting that, you're not helping people the way you need to, and you're leaving a ton of money. I think I did the math. I probably left at least $150,000 on the table by not doing it as much as I should have when I was in the field full time.
So my dumbass didn't really know what I was doing, figured it out, took the time, was super intentional, and no exaggeration, it added an extra one a month. I wrote one annuity a month. It added an extra $70,000 in income for that year.
Ooh.
So yeah, I mean, and now they have it to the point where you don't even have to learn the annuities. You don't have to take that risk. You don't have to nothing. Fill this out, send it off, and you get what you talk about. So the more you talk about it and the more comfortable you become with the FIF reset, the more money you're going to make. I literally, like last month, just had a bunch of money deposited into my checking account randomly, right? From somebody else taking over my business. I don't know how I got it, but it was from an FIF reset, which is it's so cool. So just go do it, like make it happen. Love it. I love that setup. So
this stuff, John, that we're talking about, it might be uncomfortable. right? It might be uncomfortable, but it is going to make you more money. It's going to keep your business on the books. You resetting this stuff to somebody else, it's going to make you more money. The only thing that's going to be like maybe like a little is you, right? So get out of your own way. Like have them fill out that little form, put it at their policy, ask a couple of questions and just do it. The more you do it, then it just becomes second nature like everything else. So
Yeah.
growth does not happen in our comfort zone, y'all.
That's right. You're gonna stuck in the beginning.
Oh
But you
no,
won't
don't
you won't
start.
you won't start.
Don't
I won't
start,
start. I
Shawn.
promise you, I won't go down the sucking path.
You
But
know, and I think there's also a degree that a lot of us, we've got that lead, we've got that policy, we've got that, and there's a control aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to let go of this person and let him go somewhere else. But I think that we could have a better understanding of our SMEs, right? That they go through arduous training, that they understand the products inside and out, that they're really, advanced sales professionals that aren't going to blow that lead out. I think that sometimes we run away from resets because we've got, a policy, we reset them and all of that good stuff. And then we're worried about the back end of it blowing out our sale, right? And one of the things that we've got to understand is that these SMEs and these people that work within our organizations are just absolutely some of the smartest, best salespeople that really, really know those advanced products. And really what they're there for is just, again, a consultation to figure out if that person would fit into an advanced markets product.
yeah, and you'll notice too, is those advanced market people, they're like not high pressure salespeople at all.
At all. No.
They're really not. They're like, they're very matter of fact people.
Yeah.
If you really get to know them. Like almost every advanced market person I have met, it's like, okay, yeah, they just explain it in such a way where you feel like an idiot not to do it.
Yeah, they're not like us. They're not like us.
Right. Right, exactly. So listen, if you want a part 2 from Shawn Lyons, put it in the section. What I would really want you guys to do is just kind of go at the very, like, obviously exactly what Miranda said, what I said, what Shawn said, but like script out what Shawn just said. Like, I think we even have like AI bots that can just grab it really quick and put it in a script for you, because that was money. And that easy transition to the FIF, being able to do it. So go, like, use this. But if you want Shawn to come back, shoot Miranda or I a text and say, yes, we want him. Put it in the YouTube channel too. Or I guess
no text. There will be no words. You'll receive no text.
But outside of that, Miranda, if they don't want to suck at sales, what should they do?
Hit the subscribe button. Wear the merch.
What are you doing? Hit that subscribe button.
Go get that merch.
That's
All right,
it.
y'all. Bye, y'all. Thank you.
Yeah. Show me some. Show me some.